Hey y'all, welcome to Over It All with DW and RJ, where we talk about any and everything. I'm DW, lover of facts, deep conversations, and pretty much anything that makes me think, wait, what?
And I'm RJ, your go to for pop culture hot takes, weird what if scenarios, and plenty of loud jokes. Wait, that doesn't say loud, that says bad. That's fine, we'll fix it in the edit. If it's out there, I'm probably obsessed with it. This is the show where no topic is too random, no conversation too out there. This is Over It All.
The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed on Over It All with DW and RJ are solely our own and do not reflect the views, policies, or positions of our employers or any affiliated organizations. All content is for entertainment and informational purposes only. Hey y'all, welcome back to Over It All with DW and RJ. We know it's been a while, but life has been lifing, Trump has been trumping, and we are doing the best we can with what we have. Of course, we miss you all and we miss getting episodes to you, but we are so excited for this episode today. So this is an episode about me actually sending an email to my father, who I've been estranged from for years. And his response, which I have not read. RJ will read that response today. So we're just gonna jump right into what I sent him. I did not really have any motivation. Like I said in my email to him, I really wasn't looking for anything in particular. It's just kind of was like a why not? I bought some stationery, stamps, and envelopes, and was like, I made a list of people I wanted to write to and send letters to. And he made that list as a maybe, maybe not. And I was like, what the fuck? What would it hurt? So let's get into it. I said, hey, I am not expecting anything particular from you, but it felt like the right time for me to write you. I guess I will start with letting you know that I am not thrilled that you are incarcerated. I'm not happy that your absence truly hurts my sister. I am not sure I would ever understand her affinity for you because I do not think it is justified, but for her sake, I want to believe you truly do care about her too. I am sure she cannot wait for you to meet Kayla, a pure firecracker, and to see how much Kingsley has grown too in person. I'm sure you cannot wait to experience those moments either. I do not believe you are a bad person, but you are a person who has made bad decisions. When Mama finally told me about the physical and emotional abuse she experienced with you, I did hate you. I could not understand how you could treat someone you claim to love like that, especially the mother of your children. She then told me that your father wasn't all too good to Grandma, so that may have been where you picked up that behavior. Whatever the reason, I really hope that you have learned that unhealthy behavior and learned how to show up in relationships in more healthy ways. I do often wonder why you did not tell us about our brother when we were younger and could have formed a relationship with him, as I have always wanted a big brother. I feel like that opportunity was stolen from me, and it does hurt me to this day. I wonder why the family did not tell us as well. That is just something that also puzzles me about you. Just like I told Mama when we reconnected at the end of 2023, I do not expect perfection from anyone. That is not realistic or sustainable. However, I do expect honesty, kindness, respect, and genuineness from all of the people I hold dear to my heart and within my circle. I also told her that if we find that we could not mesh well together, then we could go back to loving each other from a distance. No harm, no foul. I told Mama that I realized I am the more difficult of me and my sister. I'm more inquisitive, direct, and intolerant to BS. She has always been more forgiving and open than me. And I love her for that, because she accepts me and my flaws with open arms. I truly love my sister and the woman she has grown into for everything she is, has done, and will do. Please do not hurt her like this again. A threat or a promise. As for what's been going on with me, I reconnected with Mom as my full love to cuss. Always have. Queer as fuck. always been non-religious. It's been over 14 years at this point, and no holds barred self. I then used FMLA to take care of her after her surgery last year, and then decided I wanted to change of pace and left my job of 7 years to go in a different direction in a different location. It has been exciting and sometimes challenging. I also received a diagnosis for fibromyalgia earlier this year, which has answered the question of why I was experiencing pain and aches. So there have been a lot of changes in this last year, most good and healthy, so I won't complain. RJ has been doing well. He's still putting up with me and all my shenanigans. He's really one of the good ones. I hope you are doing as well as you can be doing. Sincerely, DW.
So I guess my first question would be, what made now feel like the right time to reach out to your father?
Literally, it was on a whim. And I literally was bored at work. And I was making a list of who I wanted to write letters to, literally. And logically, it just made sense if I was going to write him to send an email through JPay or whatever it's called. And because it's like half the price and it's kind of more immediate than sending a letter to a different city that's going to have to get sorted, process, review for appropriateness, whatever, and then deliver it to the city that the actual prison is. So I literally was like, what does it hurt? I mean, can't be more silent than what it is now. Like, I don't know. Like, I literally was just like, why not? Like I said, I wasn't looking for anything specific. Honestly, like I did with mama, just was like, what's going on with you? Kind of feeling it out type thing. I don't know.
All right. So do you feel like you're in a good spot for us to go through his response?
Yes, I do feel like I'm in a good spot. And are you going to say the part that I read and stop that and did not continue reading? Because it shows you a line when you go to the portal or whatever. It shows you like the first line or something of what they said, like the first 7 to 9 words, something. I don't know. But my father converted later in life to a different religion. And I'm not religious, so I don't care. But it's just like, girl, if I tell you I'm not religious, don't you, the first words in your reply is some religious shit. To me, that's crazy. But you did tell me to try to keep an open mind because it could have been just like a general phrasing of just, thank the Lord, essentially. You told me to just keep an open mind. So I'm trying. I'm going to try while you read his full response and not just the first 2 words in it.
Okay. Let's go ahead and start. I pray that you and the family are well. Great to hear from you. Continue to pray for your strength and relationship. You are awesome, my beautiful daughter, and you've accomplished much. Just know you have far more work to do. And then we can skip that.
We're not skipping anything.
Okay. We are literally on the cusp of Yahweh's best and greatest blessings and intentions for our lives. No, your father is not perfect. No, I have not made all good decisions. Yes, I have many things that I have repented for, and as long as I am in the flesh, will more than likely have to repent in the future. Yes, you and your sister are exemplary of the love your mother and I shared and share. How does one who is slash was known for rescuing damsels in distress from elementary school to adulthood wind up assuming the role of the very type persona of people he spent his life protecting people from is a question that I've asked countless times.
Pause. As you can hear, my father has a way with words. So just let that marinate. If it's a positive for you or a negative for you.
With that being said, you are blessed to have such great parents as you have, and your mother and myself. I often think back on our ride along, sing along trips during our visits. I remember / recall numerous conversations both of your beautiful grandmothers and I shared during that time frame. Both were seemingly overly concerned for the costly sacrifice on me. That's when I coined the phrase labor of love. I'm sure that was out before. Reflecting upon those days, Yahweh was so in tune with our needs that he blessed me with having the opportunity to schedule my route to and from my remote work cities and satellite offices to end up on Silver Creek Inn. While I remain imperfect and am still in the process of salvation, I do have a few notable godly characteristics. Being a good father is at the top of the list only because I am a great son.
I am someone who is of the mindset that you can't say that you are great at something. Like the people you are supposed to be serving or providing for or reporting to, whatever, get to determine and rate you. I don't think you get to rate yourself in that sense. I would like to round up his 4 kids, myself included, and see what they have to say. I'm just saying, you don't get to, I don't think that's right to get to say, like, I don't think I get to say I'm a great employee. I think my boss gets to look at my work ethic, my work product, my schedule adherence, etc. You know, my rapport with the customer, like, and then get to, you know, decide a rating for me. I don't think I get to determine it myself. So I've always been of the mindset, like, teachers are evaluated, administrators are evaluated. Like, there is a system of evaluations happening in the education system, whether you believe it or not. And so to me, I call bullshit to that. You don't get to say that you're a great father. You definitely don't get to say you're a great father because you're a great son. My grandmother is not here to tell me that, even though she probably would have said he was a great son. The bar is on the floor, in my opinion. Like, you know, for men, it's patriarchy, like, be for real. But yeah. And back to what he said about Yahweh providing so that he would be able to end up in Silver Creek. I'm just like, so you are a father who made your job work for you in order to serve 2 of your kids, for you to meet the court ordered visitation requirements. You want a cookie for that? Like, okay, I'm gonna.
Much like being an awesome teacher is a derivative of being a better student, I practice Messianic Judaism simply because it is the Judaism of the Messiah and is the only sanctioned, authorized, and valid faith Yahweh approved. While growing up, I knew that there was more. I knew that I was not receiving the correct answers to the many questions I posed. Little did I know to what great lengths the adversary went to in an effort to keep us from knowing who and whose we are. I love you, sweetheart, and there ain't a thing you or I can do about that. Be encouraged, be blessed in the name of Yeshua. Until later, my beautiful daughter, Shalom. And that is the letter in its totality.
Okay, so he pretty much skirted the issues, was like, what did he say? He repented and he'll have more stuff to repent for, which I think also is like what is it called? For people who do horrible things. They're like, oh, I repented, so I'm forgiven. You're still a shitty person who did shitty things because you're using that as a cop-out, kind of, sort of. Like, you cause real harm to real people. Have you asked those real people for forgiveness? Have you reconciled with those people truly? Or is it just water under the bridge, which is so popular in our community? You're not really talking about the harm. You're not really processing that you were harmed. You're not really processing that the harm doer, is still in your space, etc., still has access. Like, it just is what it is, and it doesn't have to be like that. So again, the religiosity aspect does not surprise me. I expect it, actually. He's using a different religion as a cop out this time, other than his Baptist Christian upbringing. So it's not really surprising to me. Will I respond? I don't feel the need to, because what am I going to get out of that? Except more religiosity. And I try to protect myself and insulate myself from the religiosity as best as I can. And I feel like that would just be like, girl, like, what are you gaining out of that? Because that's what he led with. That's what he ended with. It was all up and through there. It's just kind of sucks, because it's like, if you kind of be human to human, minus the religiosity, like, practice, you could practice what you want to preach, whatever, but you don't have to be preaching it like 24/7. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially somebody who has told you, like, I'm not religious. It's been over a decade, girl. Like, you're literally, like, not getting anything out of this. Like, I don't know. Like, he could have, I don't know. Like, he didn't say anything he didn't address anything when it came to me saying, why did you hide our brother from us? I didn't hear a response to that.
From what he sent, there wasn't really a response to why your brother was hidden from you all for so long. I want to ask, like, I know you sent this on a kind of a whim to just be like, let's see where it goes. When you initially saw that he replied, just in general, how did that make you feel before you even read, like, the subject line of the email?
I'm not someone who gets excited to talk to people anyway, so it's kind of like, I'm saying, like, I get that social anxiety really easily. Like, I sent some messages today to people I have already talked to, and I still was like, like, so it's still just like an uncomfortable, like, oh, this person saw that I sent them something, read it, and have crafted a response to me. I'm like, I wasn't even thinking like, oh, this is my dad. Like, it was just like, I gotta reply for somebody. This means they read something I sent. Whether they read it, like be for real. But I didn't take it no harder than what I do normally, like when I have to reach out to somebody and, await a response. It kind of was just like, oh, this person is acknowledging my existence because they're reading something that I actually sent them and they're sending something back to me. And I'm just like a deer in headlights, like freaked out, kind of like that nervousness, bubble gut type feeling. But it wasn't, I don't think it was anything heavier than that.
So in his response, I know it was the way he responded, the points that he did touch on from your initial reach out. Did it open up, or did it bring back any old feelings or open up any old wounds?
From the response that you read, I have no inclination to send a response to him. I have so many stamps because they were so cheap. I'm just like, give me that number and yep. So I might use it for quarterly check-ins. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not looking for a relationship to open up the communication with him based on his response that he sent. I'm not saying any reason to set myself to that any further, because it's gonna be religiosity. That's what he led with to me in his response. And someone can tell me that I'm wrong. Like, he led with it and he ended with it, and it's all up and through there, It's just not him holding himself accountable. It's this higher being. And to me, that's a cop-out. That's a, give me something tangible. Like, show me that you yourself hold yourself to a higher standard. Like, you yourself will acknowledge the wrong, the harm you have caused. Tell me how you have rectified those situations, like how you have worked with the people you've harmed and earned their forgiveness or something. Like, let me know that you're sorry that I feel that you were not a decent father and that maybe you could have done a better job. Maybe you could have been there more. Don't tell me I did all of this and it was so much effort. Nigga, you a father. Like, yeah, it's gonna take some fucking effort. So, to me, that's just like bullshit. Like, I'm gonna call bullshit on it. Because like I said, and like I tell anybody, I say what I say, I do what I do, I move how I move, acknowledging that people I love and the young people I love will may one day come to me and say, hey, TT, DW, you harmed me in this way. You failed me in this way. This is how you could have showed up better for me. This is what I really needed from you. And I did not get it. And I truly hope and pray that I respond in a way that is empathetic, acknowledges the harm, the failure, whatever the issue is, acknowledges that what they're feeling is legitimate, irregardless of my intention or what I intended. Like, I hope that I respond in an empathetic, kind way that opens the door for reconciliation, for healing, for me to remain in their life as a positive, not as a, negative, like, I gotta keep her around just because she my aunt, like, that type of bullshit. Like, no, you don't. I'm gonna tell you, like, if you feel like you need to cut me off, because when you ready, if you ready, if we ever are able to reconcile, I'm going to be here. Like, but do what you have to do when you have to do it for your betterment, just like I did. Some people may say, do you regret? Like, no, I don't regret it. I don't regret being estranged from my mom. I don't regret being estranged from my father. I don't regret being estranged from anyone, because I had to take that time to get the tools that I needed to build myself, to learn, that I can be respected, that I should be respected, how to treat others with respect, what boundaries are, what healthy boundaries are, how to hold healthy boundaries, how to respect others' boundaries, etc. Like, I had to get those tools because those were not something that I was taught growing up. So, I am grateful and thankful that my mom is still here. I love our relationship. She accepts me for my wild, crazy self because she wild and crazy herself too. My aunties welcome me back with open arms. My uncles welcome me back with open arms. My cousins always been there, so it's just like, no, I have no regrets. It just, kind of sucks because it's like it's just like, but it's like, it's not my loss. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like it's my loss because I feel like I said to somebody, like, my mom and, oh no, that's what I was going to say in a Facebook post. My mom and our supporting village, her, people that held us up and took care of us and helped us get to where we have gotten to. Like, there was no time, like there was no even a second to be like, oh, I feel a lack of his presence. Like, he's not here. Like, so something's gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't that, because we had a village behind us. Our mom had a village behind her. So, and I'm grateful and thankful to them for being there. Because people got their own shit going on, but they did prioritize us and our mom and showed up for us. So it's just like, you missed out, dog. Like, you missed out. You know what I'm saying? And you're continuing to miss out on me. So I can only speak for myself. He's gonna miss out on me. And
so I want to ask you, do you think, like, you've reached out, he's responded, your sister has pretty much been in a more consistent conversation with him throughout his situation now. Do you think that your mother could gain anything from reaching out to him? Do you think that could, if she were to present her grievances with him directly, would that affect? Not, I don't believe it'll affect his initial response. I think it may take one or two if that were to occur. But I'm just saying, do you think he would reflect more immediately if the victim of his transgressions were to actually reach out to him and be like, this is what I need you to take accountability for?
his response is just so anti-accountability. I truly don't think she would be doing herself any favors by reaching out to him. Whatever relationship she has with him is a relationship she has with him now. I can't control that or anything. I just don't think it would be any positive for her to reach out because I believe his response would be just as deflective, just as anti-accountability, like as his response to me was that I feel. And again, I may read it later and somehow, some way see it in a different light. But if you read what he wrote, if that was his response to me, I think it was highly anti-accountability, just super deflective. It's just bullshit, honestly. Very surface level to me. And I'm good on that. So I think I know my mom well enough to say I think she's good on that shit too. I feel like she knows him on a different level than I know him. I believe that she would know that she would be wasting her breath to bring it up or anything because she knows him.
So, in reading the response and addressing it here, giving your raw thoughts from your initial hearing of it, and like you had already mentioned, you more than likely gonna read it for yourself, at a separate time later, possibly. Will you be like sharing this response with your mom? Will you be sharing it with your sister? Like to kind of get their thoughts from it as well?
I would not share this response to get their thoughts to it. I feel like I'm feminist as fuck. Like, I feel like I'm womanist as fuck. I'm queer as fuck. Like, so that informs how I interact with the patriarchy. You get what I'm saying? I'm hard on niggas. What Megan say? I'm hard on these hoes. Like, don't play with me. I'm hard on niggas. And gonna stay being hard on niggas. Like, that ain't changing. Gonna keep my foot on their necks because this is a patriarchal ass society. So we have been socialized to coddle, to minimize the harm men cause. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I would only share it just to share it for them to know what he wrote me. I would not be looking to gain anything from their responses. Not saying they couldn't offer anything valuable. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I would just share it so they could see, like, because they saw what I sent him. Why not see what he sent me in response? I'm not looking for any advice, any direction, because like I said, I'm good. If I reach out in a couple months, it's just like a, hope you're doing good, big dog. Keep your head up. Because I am a prison abolitionist. Like, they should not exist. They are relics from slavery. Like, so like it's all intertwined. But that's a different story for a different day, I guess. But you know what I'm saying? You cause harm, there should be consequences for causing that harm. When he caused harm to my mama, them consequences should have came a little bit harder, in my opinion. But that's just me. I was just 1-2 years old then. What did I know? All I'm saying is he caused harm to my mama. Them consequences should have been. All right? You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. But yeah, no, I would not be looking for input. You know what I'm saying? I'll be sending it to them, just send it to them. I'm not looking for them to say, oh, this was deep. That's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep that to yourself. You know, I love y'all, but keep that to yourselves because it really ain't gonna change how I'm feeling. It's not, I'm not looking for input. You know, people tell you, oh, that's your dad. You only get one. Baby, I can go out here and find me another daddy. Non-sexual. Literally find me a father figure who don't play about me, who's standing 10 toes down about me. If I wanted to. And honestly, I about got that in my father-in-law. Like, don't play with me. I don't know why it just changed to you like that. But that's pretty funny that it waited to that moment for me to say my father-in-law. But men that do not play about me. Father figures who don't play about me. And I'm hard on their asses. And they accept me arms wide open. Because they know I love them. But I'm going to give your ass a hard time. Because you're a man. I am. So, like I said, RIP to my Uncle Bull. He was there for us. He did not play about us or our mama. It really hurts that he's not here no more. But we don't get to control too much in this life or death. But yeah, it's his loss. To me, in summary, it's his loss. My father-in-law's gain. You know what I'm saying? He get to deal with me and all my bullshit.
So, okay. I'm going to throw out this hypothetical. If you do your quarterly follow-up as we...
Do?
No.
If I do my
quarterly follow-up, as you said you might, if in this hypothetical situation he does actually come back and seem more reflective on his actions, more accountable, what would be an ideal version of what you think your relationship with your father would be after everything is the same all the way up to this email? You reach out, and I don't know, in the months since this response, light bulb flicks on, and he like, oh yes, I see it, see the error of my ways. He addresses that. He addresses not introducing y'all to y'all brother, all of this. He addressed the whole thing. How do you, hypothetically speaking, see a relationship with your father if you were to have a healthy one?
Like I said, he would have to hold himself accountable for the failures, the harm, the violence. He would have to continue to be a kind, honest, respectful person. To me, that would mean he would have to decrease the religiosity for me to be around somebody. You know what I'm saying? I get the ick really easy around the super religious folks. I mean, it's not hard. I grew up in the Bible Belt, baby. It's just be like, at some point, how long? You can't just dial it back a little bit. But ideally, if you were to do those things, and also would not be trying to use me or something, or my resources or anything like that, I don't see myself having a relationship with my father. Like I said, he's in the draft Facebook post. Did I let you read that? Okay. I mentioned his comedic ways or whatever. He's funny as fuck. Like, I feel like I'm a funny ass person. I'm more funny than I am funny looking. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got jokes. Like, I can keep it laughing. You know what I'm saying? And I do think I get that from him. Like, he's funny as fuck. He's jovial. And I see that in my sister and my niece and nephew. And, it's just like there are positive traits. And it's like we could focus on those, not just saying like just forget the rest, but it's just like acknowledge the harm you've caused. You're like, I'm trying to get to know you for you. I failed you in this way. I let you down. I can only come to you with what I have, with who I am right now. Acknowledge that. We can work with it. Like I said, it ain't like I gotta lean, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to lean on him for nothing. I would just need him to be 100 about everything. Like, and that's the part I don't think I'll ever get. And I don't think that's something I'm ever willing to forfeit. Like, I need you to acknowledge the shit you have done. Because to me, if you don't acknowledge where you've been, what you've done, I don't think you can honestly, travel to a healthier place without looking at the shit, literally sitting in the shit, smelling the shit, feeling the shit. You know what I'm saying? You're in the shit, like, and then you're like, I acknowledge that. I know there was real harm caused. How can I rectify this? How can I heal my relationship with you? How can I show up for you now? I don't think I ever get that. So I don't even look for it. I mean, nothing's impossible. I really don't think it's asking for a lot. But for someone who is committed to a facade, who is committed to just projecting a specific, persona, like, that is asking for the impossible from them. So, that was the thing, my mom would say, like, oh, he would act a certain way in public and behind doors, just a different person. And we see that, you see that on Lifetime, you see it in First 48, etc. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see, like, this is a lot of people's reality when they have domestic partners who are monsters behind closed doors. Or hell, some of them be monsters in the light too, but their family still won't ever admit it. To me, that's bullshit. So, but yeah.
Well, I think that was a very emotionally packed returning episode. So, are there any closing remarks that you have?
I would just like to say that there are hella Black people navigating estrangement. We don't call it that. We might not, explicitly state it's estrangement, but that's what it is. And I've mentioned this on previous episodes before. Like, when you have that cousin or somebody who only shows up during the holidays, you don't know nothing about their life, they don't talk to nobody, they don't deal with nobody, but they'll come around. Like, that is a form of estrangement. If you are dealing with it, you're not alone. I will always tell people to choose themselves, choose what is best for themselves. Like, distance, in physically or communication wise, do what you got to do, because you have to protect yourself. You have to try to heal and learn and unlearn toxic behaviors. You can learn how to show up in relationships in healthy ways. You don't have to do what's always been done. You don't have to just keep kicking the can down the road. Like, you can choose a different path. It should not be a taboo topic. Like, you're not alone. Like, it's not something new. It's always existed. Like, queerness has always existed. Like, trans folks have always existed. Estrangement has always existed, because I don't want to talk to that motherfucker. I don't want to deal with that motherfucker. I'm going to go my own way. You know what I'm saying? Like, essentially, break it down to the basic level. Like, I do not want to deal with that motherfucker. I'm going to protect my peace, and I'm going over here. Had been cavemen and cavewomen thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? So, it's always existed since the dawn of time. But y'all, please know that you're not doing anything wrong. You're not, if somebody says they're hurt by it, that's okay. Acknowledge their hurt. I acknowledge the pain you're feeling. And I'm still going to continue to be estranged. Thank you. My pain is going to be a different pain than if I was to stay in contact with somebody I don't need to be in contact with. So, yeah, just if you can relate, let us know. And yeah, and we'll see what we talk about on the next episode. Thank y'all for tuning in for this episode, and catch you on the next one.